Welcome to another UK Gravel Collective YouTube video. And on today's video, I'm going to take you on a classic North Worcestershire loop for gravel bikes or mountain bikes. It's going to be about 20 miles in total. And I am now totally overdressed because to getting off the train, the sun has come out and it is no longer freezing cold. Yeah, so welcome to Barnt Green Station. This is where the ride starts and ends. It'll end just over there. You can see it's currently under some sort of construction. Actually, I think they might be putting a lift in. But anyway, station is not the best place to park, even when, you know, there were spaces. There's plenty of on-street parking in the local area if you're coming by car, because it's best to come by bike. And just half a mile outside of Barnt Green, we get our first bridle path. Morning. Morning. So after a short section of quiet road, we're back on another bridle path, and we're actually the other side of Lower Bittle Reservoir that we've already passed. And this is called Bittle Bridle Way by locals. So here we are at Lickey Hills Country Park. Now technically this is part of Birmingham and not actually Worcestershire, but you know, that's a matter of metres. So Lickey Hills Country Park, it's not a very big set of woodland and it's set in a very urban area, so at weekends it gets very busy with families and dog walkers. The best time to come is in the week or in the evening, but it's a great place to ride. So things to know about Lickey Hills Country Park. Well, it's got some sort of weird human squirrel hybrid wooden thing. But anyway, when you get to this point, there's a crossroads here. Up that hill over there used to be a cafe. It wasn't the best cafe, but it was a cafe. But that's been closed for about 6 months. Now, whether that's to do with Birmingham City Council's rates or whether people, you know, couldn't make a go of it for some reason, but there's no cafe there. There is a visitor centre, so you can learn about the history of the Lickey Hills, which is a bit surprising. There are bits about unexploded ordnance and gun testing in local quarries around here. And there's also a toilet, so if you need to go, rather than there is a toilet. We're going to head off in that direction up the hill and continue the journey through the Lickeys. So Lickey Hills was bequeathed, is that the right word, to the people of Birmingham by the Cadbury family way back when their chocolate used to taste nice before the Americans and is it the Dutch now who take it over? Anyway, and so this was massively popular back in Victorian and late Victorian and early 20th century when trams used to run up to almost to the top of the Lickeys, and there used to be literally thousands and thousands of people, tea rooms all over the place, on the people's one day of rest a week. On a Sunday, used to get dressed up and come up here. I'm no historian, but yeah, if you look up the Lickey Hills, you'll see loads of great Victorian paintings, drawings, and latterly even some photos. And it's a great place to explore. Now officially you should keep to the bridle paths because you're on a bike. Unofficially the GPX will show bridle paths, but it's a great place to explore. Just don't do it when it's busy. So a sunny Saturday afternoon or a Sunday afternoon, no, don't, because it's just no fun. There's just too many people, too many dogs, and you can't explore the place. Come when it's raining, you have a place yourself. Come after work, 5 o'clock onwards, in the spring and summer, perfect. In fact, the perfect time to come is middle of April to the middle of May, because there'll be masses of bluebells and it is amazing to see, and the smell is overpowering, in a good way. Anyway, so we're at the top of Rose Hill almost. We're going to cross over to Monument Lane and have a look at the monument. Well, I don't know whether you can read that, but it was erected by the Worcestershire Regiment of Yeomanry Cavalry to mark their gratitude and the memory of a colonel. Who apparently something to do with solid and efficient public services. Yeah. Anyway, it's a massive erection. So now left the Lickeys, we're now on the Waseley side of the hill, but just one thing to say before we completely leave Lickey side. There is a cafe near the main car park by where the municipal golf course is. Very basic sort of greasy spoon cafe, but you know, nothing wrong with that. You can get a decent bacon or sausage sandwich. If you're peckish, you know, and this is a place to explore. So anyway, let's go and have a look at some of the Waseley side. Welcome to Beacon Hill, and what Beacon Hill is probably best known for, this little, what everyone calls the castle locally. But, let's go and look at the plaque. Yeah, it's another Cadbury thing. And well, you can see a lot of Birmingham from here. May not be able to in this camera, but if you've ever heard of the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, that's right there in the mist. That's Dudley in the Black Country over there, and in that direction going out towards Warwickshire, and actually Worcestershire is that way. Next we're going to take a look on a lovely little downhill which follows the edge of the road. It's very rooty, it can be very slippy. It's got a couple of quite droppy routes, and then it crosses a busy road. Well, I say busy, it's not that busy, but it's a bit blind when you drop out, so please be careful. And then the next bit is you're going to drop down some steps. Now, if you are not used to doing steps, get off and push, you know, no one cares, or stop, have a look, see if you can do it, and then go for it. But yeah, just be careful, and also be careful because on busy times there'll be people walking up. Here's the crossing. Be careful. And then we're going down this bridle path. This is where the steps are. Take it steady if you want. Now, on the backside of Waseley Hills, we have what's known locally as Pebble Beach Climb. It looks nothing for me, but it's probably the most technical part of the whole route. Not so technical now because it's quite dry, but in winter when there's literally a stream running down the middle of it, or it's all completely frozen and it's got those lovely baby head polished rocks that's so easy to slip off, then it's more of a challenge. But even now everything's loose, so if you go up here without dabbing, then you get a gold star. So this is a classic Lickey Hills scene, locally known as the Duck Ponds, and the cafe I was talking about, the Lickey's, is just over there. Whoa! So I'm not designating this as a pure gravel ride. I've just ridden the route on the gravel bike, but also mountain bike, for two reasons. The first, there isn't a lot of tarmac, so you know it's not going to be tedious riding on the tarmac if you're on a mountain bike. And also, particularly in the last third, there's a bit more gnarlier routes and it's a bit muddier, so you know, if you're unsure of a gravel bike or a mountain bike, take your mountain bike, but it's definitely doable on a gravel bike. Just be careful. And now we've come to the final descent, and we're going to end up back in Barnt Green Station. So let's go. Now, back at Barnt Green Station. Now, if you want some refreshments, it's like just down the hill out of the car park to the little village where there are a couple of nice cafes. There's a Tesco Express, so you're all sorted there. And just be aware, on the last part of the route, there are a couple of big trees down. Now, they may have been removed by the time you ride this, but the state of Birmingham City Council's finances, I doubt that very much. So pretend it's a gate that you're having to lift the bike over. Ruins the flow a bit, but you know, you're in the woods, so you're having a nice time anyway. And I haven't recorded every single descent, every single climb, because I've watched videos like that and it's just boring. And this is meant as a guide, a taster, to get you over to the area so you can have an explore. It's only just under 20 miles, but you could add Clent Hills in as well, and do another 10 miles. Clent is only 3 miles really from Waseley Country Park, so easily doable on a day ride from the train. And talking of which, there's my train and I need to go. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, share. If you do the route, let me know how you get on. Be careful, and hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Oh no, I've missed it.